permission granted to set aside the holiday tablescape, the holiday table centerpiece anyway, and reach for something that's a little smaller scale. Remember, we're focusing on details today. Nothing makes guests feel more noticed or cared for than a place card with their name on it. It's a small touch with a big impact. Studio 5 contributor Cari Stevenson has place settings for everyone who circles up at your holiday table this year. It's so good to see you.
Good to be here.
We were just swapping maternity clothes recommendations. I'll be shopping immediately after the show. Anyway, it is great to have you, and you're always so good about bringing that finishing flair, I think, to the holiday setting. In this case, the holiday table. Why do you think place cards are such an important touch to remember?
Okay, so I think we spend so much time on food, like, you know, you're planning the food, the preparation, the big stuff. And then I sometimes feel like we come to like, okay, I'm going to set my table, and you're like, have this panic, like, oh no, like, what do I didn't think about this, like, what do I do? But it really sets the stage for everything else you've done, whether you've sent out invitations or all the work you've done for Thanksgiving. And you really just want this to then be that final touch of like, everyone sit down and something special, and I've thought about you, and it's kind of that special touch. And but it needs to be easy.
I was going to say, yes, as you're going to prove, it doesn't have to be complicated. No. It doesn't have to be hard.
No, so my whole idea was I wanted things hopefully you kind of have around. You could throw together very easily, and because you spend so much time on the food and cooking and things like that, and a lot of these you can put together in advance. And hopefully you'll notice I did them all on white. And so I wanted to show that, like, if you invest in that great dinnerware, you can just change it up with linens and placemats and colors to really, you know, change things up for every holiday.
The accessories, or in this case, the place cards, become all the color you need.
Which is much better than buying like 10 sets of dishes, right?
You're bridging the holidays for us, but first you've got a couple ideas that with Thanksgiving tomorrow we can pull off right now.
Exactly. So if we're starting with Thanksgiving, so this is just an easy brown bag, little sack that I've turned into like a little turkey leg. And so the thing I like about this, you can write everyone's name on it. It's good for kids and adults, and so you can tear it that one open. And so like kids, you could put like their colorings. You can just tear it.
Really?
Just rip the paper, strip it open.
So cute on the plate. Okay, fine. Sorry,
and
Peter.
So you can inside, like for the adults, we've got little like questions or things to go around the table. Like it could be a poem. We just I threw in some questions for adult talking points.
What are you grateful for? When was the time in your life you felt the most grateful?
Yeah, so you can add whatever you want, but you know, if you've ever had those people at the table that dominate the conversation, or like in my family, we're all talkers, but then our poor in-laws can't get a word in edgewise. And so it gives everyone a chance to participate in like the conversation at dinner. So you can add that. That could be crayons, kids' activities, whichever.
I love how simple and cute that packaging was. 10 seconds.
And then you just 10 seconds. Just pull that together.
Okay, what's this?
Okay, so the next, this is like a little cornucopia waffle cone. And so I have a waffle cone maker. Best investment I've ever made.
Really?
Oh my gosh, put it on your Christmas list. And so I just made these, but you can buy these at any store. And the little sugar cones work great. Just fill it with a little candy, mints, pumpkins, whatever you want it to be, and just put a little name on it. And it's just a little treat. The whole thing's edible, and you can package it up, take it away later.
This is elegant, especially against the white.
I know, doesn't it look so pretty and so easy? So these can just be plain pine cones. These ones are gold, and I wanted to show. So I've thrown these on. If you just like our last minute, go gather up some pine cones, put a little tag on. And then as we're gonna transition into Christmas or the next holiday seasons, I just wanted to show like I can just take these off. Yes. And I'm just like made a little tree now out of this. And you can just add that as you go into the Christmas season. So you can kind of multi-use those because it adds kind of that elegant but rustic feel too.
So grab a can of spray paint, grab some pine cones.
Easy to do.
What's this?
Okay, so these are these cute little snow globe kind of
mini
things.
Snow globe.
So these can turn into a really fun activity that we'll talk about with the kids as well, but you can make each one of these for your kids. So these jars just came from the Target spot. They're $1 each.
Isn't that our new favorite spot?
Oh my gosh, love it, right? And so they actually have all the little trees, and now every craft store has these little ornaments. Like they're calling them like these like tiny creations. And so you can buy these little ornaments to put in here and I just filled this with kosher salt because it just kind of was chunkier than sugar, but really cheap. And so that's a great little takeaway for like all of your guests to take home.
You picked a very trendy ornament. We're noticing this motif everywhere. Right? The truck with the tree on top.
And I just glued that tree on top. Like that was just an easy, I just made it. I just totally made the whole thing.
Oh, really cute.
So just super easy.
Okay. This speaks to simple elegance as well.
Okay, yeah, so this is just fresh cranberries that I've just gone looped around a wire, and that can be floral wire, just any kind of wire that so you can bend it. And then I've just put some rosemary at the top with a little bit of twine to make a wreath.
Love it.
And just easy. You can make those a couple days in advance, just keep them in your fridge, then you can use them to the next party.
Perfect, or a napkin holder.
Or a napkin holder, any of that.
Speaking of napkins, this probably is my favorite idea, and I hesitate to say that because they're all so cute.
No, I love this. So these next three are kind of things that you can transition to any holiday or any entertaining as you're moving in. So this is, I don't feel like this is new to us. Maybe this is, all this is just your paper towel holder that's cut. I've wrapped that in ribbon, but it's the way I feel like the napkin's been placed.
This is a paper towel holder?
This is a paper towel holder.
Oh my gosh.
And so I just wrapped the thickness of the ribbon around it. So I bought some great ribbon, and it's really the linen, and it's really just the way it's wrapped around that. And so it creates like a fun bow on top of there.
Did you have to iron this at all or crease this at all?
You just slide it through and literally just wrap it around.
And then just tucked under the plate.
It's just tucked under the plate. It slides through, it creates that little crease on its own. And just tucks right under.
I love that.
And it's just so easy. So you can customize that to whatever you want.
And I was sure those were the $10 napkin rings from Z Gallery.
And this is just the cutest ribbon from Sugar Paper that they create that line for Target.
Okay.
Cute ribbon that they have.
Love it, love it.
Okay, so the next one I love is just using your food. So you spend so much time on your food. So of course this is just your dinner roll. I wrapped up in some parchment paper. Maybe it's a piece of pie and you want like a little toothpick tag on it or something like that, but you spend so much time on the food, so really use your food to help create that event.
Genius.
Okay, so this last one over here is just adding a little clothespin. And again, you could change this out. So I can have this just be a piece of pine or some cranberries again, anything I want it to be for any sort of holiday. Easy.
I don't know what I'm more thrilled about, the idea that I'm invited to this party.
You're invited. I know. I had a favorite settings
are setting the mood. All right, and we can't forget the kids table.
Can't forget the kids. So a lot of people are having like grandkids or they've got their kids over. So the thing that I love about this is the kids, you want it to also be an activity, I feel like.
Yes,
so you can have some adult conversation maybe, and they can be busy. And so I like things sometimes they can do on their own. So the first one here is just, this was an easy store by this little gingerbread house that's a color gingerbread house. You color, they can put stickers, they can paint, anything. That's $3 at Target. The next thing that I talked about was making their own little snow globes.
Yes.
And so putting out all the things so they can create their own, like any age can do it. My 4-year-old did one. My kids were obsessed with these. I had to be like, hey, no more of these. And
we
then,
only need 20 snow globes for the season. Thanks,
so
children, you're done.
And then the last one that I really love, I feel like we're such a fan of the Caravan Shop.
We love the Caravan
Shop. And so I love it because they are so creative and they do printables.
We should say it's an online shop.
It's an online shop. So you download and you buy these printables. So they've created this this Nativity puppet show. And they also have a huge stage you can print off with it. But what I love about it is anytime I put out a Nativity set, my kids want to play with all the pieces anyways. So I thought this is a really fun way that they can create that. Then you can let them do the little show afterwards if you'd like them to. They're available in black and white and they can color their own, or you can just print them like this in color.
And no one's gonna break off the wise man's crown.
Exactly.
It is kid-proof paper only.
It's great. It's great.
Great ideas, start to finish, things you can pull off for tomorrow's big feast, trickling into the holiday season and beyond. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.